Hey friend, it's Patricia here. Before we get started with today's episode, I just want to let you know of a new free resource I have in the description. It's called the 10 Easy Ways to Stand Out in a Crowded Job Market. Now, I've noticed that on LinkedIn, there's a lot of great features that call the attention of managers and recruiters. However, most job seekers are not using these features, and some of them are literally 30-second features. It literally takes you 30 seconds to set these up. So head over into the description, grab the 10 easy ways to stand out even in a crowded job market. So that way you can be the one who stands out to managers and recruiters at your dream position. Grab it in the description. I'm cheering you on, and let's get started with today's episode. Hey friend, let's talk about your amazing God-given brand and the mindset you need to stand out in a crowded job market. Whether you want to launch, pivot, or move up in your career, we're going to tackle this together. Meet up with me each week to help you get confident, get noticed, and get hired. I'm Patricia Ortega, and this is the Uncommon Career Podcast. So much for joining us today. I'm here with Harsh, and Harsh is going to talk to us about getting into technical careers, even if we don't have any experience. He's dedicated to helping individuals who might feel limited by their lack of professional skills or by lack of experience, and he helps them to discover and pursue their desired career path. He's a career coach and a lifelong learner with over 20 years of experience in IT, and he specializes in software testing, and he's passionate about driving testing transformation. His ultimate goal is to empower and uplift people to reach their full potential and achieve their career aspirations. So excited to talk to you today, Harsh. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm looking forward for the weekend, and I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And part of the reason why I thought we need to, have you on the podcast and just share with all the folks here with us is because you've got just this amazing story and this amazing mission. But let's start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what your background is and what led you to become a career coach.
Okay. Excited to tell that. So I am a IT guy by profession, but I'm a career coach by passion. And basically, I'm a computer science engineer. I worked for 20 years in the industry in different roles. I started from the ground up and, a race to the ladder. And coming back to, why I chose career coaching, right? So you might have heard this quote before, but I can't resist myself to, say that again, by American writer Mark Twain. There are two most important days in your life. One, when you born, the day you born, and the day you find out why did you born, right? So last year, October, I found my why. And I was wanting to help the community, to change people's life in a positive way from last 3-4 years, but I did not know how I can do that. So I was trying to find out, but it didn't help. So how did everything change? Let me tell you a couple of stories about that. It started from my home. My wife, Shweta, she is an HR professional, and she has worked for around 5 years in the industry. And when our daughter was born in 2008, so she took a break to take care of her, raise her, and then we came to US in 2010. And then she was on a long 12 years break after that. Now our daughter Simran, she's 14 years, and a couple of years back, my wife thought, okay, let's get started, work again. So it was a different country, different job market, and a lot of things have been changed in the last 12 years, right? So it was not the same. So she was not sure where to get started from, but she created her resume in a traditional way. She hadn't tried from last 12 years. So she created the resume, started applying for the job for around 150, 200 applications she applied for, but no luck. Then she reached out to me. What can I do? Then I looked at her resume. It was more, responsibility-based, task-based. So I realized that we have to revamp her resume and start from the scratch. So what I suggested her, instead of putting just the responsibilities, why don't you convert it into accomplishments based or outcome based? Okay. And there was one more challenge. She had a 12 years gap. And how are we going to highlight that? Right. So one good thing happened. I keep insisting her during that gap, you keep continuing, learning something new, keep taking certifications. So she grabbed 3, 4 certifications. She was continuously, taking small courses on Udemy. So she highlighted those learnings during that gap period. And then she started applying again. At the same time, I reached out to my awesome LinkedIn network, to if they can help her referring to any job position. And after a couple of weeks, she started getting the response. And guess what? Within 2 months, she had a couple of good offers in hand. And after that, last year, one of my friend's wife, she was working for an IT company from last 8 years, and she felt stagnant in that job. So she was not sure, where to start the job search from, because 8 years was a long time, and she was completely off the job market. Then she reached out to me. I again suggested how she can convert her resume to outcome based or accomplishment based. And then I helped her to list down the probable questions and how she can frame her answers. I also helped her conducting the mock interviews, 3, 4 rounds. So until she can get the confidence, she herself gained the confidence. And then she gave a couple of interviews, and she nailed one of the interview and exactly what she was looking for, with a better package, better benefits. And after that, my wife told, "Why don't you do that? Okay, this is what you really good at it." And then everything flashed. Past 20 years, what I have done, I have helped almost 1,000, 1,200 people in my organization, different organizations, to help them upskill them, go for a better career growth. So I have been doing this, but I didn't know that this is what I want to do. So that day I decided this is my why, and this is what I'm going to do. So I will continue to do my day job, but in my spare time, I spend a lot of time, creating content for the job aspirants, for resumes, for interviews, and different resources. And I try to, add value to that community. Also, in my inner circle, there are a lot of people, especially housewives, who came from India, and they don't have any idea where to start from the job, search perspective. So currently, I'm almost 5, 6 people I'm helping to find their career path. I hope I will be able to help them. So this is about me in a nutshell.
Oftentimes, and we talk about this on the podcast all the time, that when someone goes for a career, they think about the title, the money, right? The overall vision, right? But when you found your why, it was more about the people.
Right. Exactly. It was not about it was not about the compensation or, higher designation. It was something coming from my heart, and I wanted to add, positive value to people's life.
I love that. And that came across. That was one of the reasons why I reached out to you. For those of you who are listening, I'm going to put his LinkedIn account it's Harsh Garg 78. I'll put a link in the description. But basically, even his headline and everything that he posts, it all reflects on helping people who maybe don't have a ton of experience, or maybe don't have any experience at all, to get into certain roles. And that's what caught my attention. What might the process or journey look like for someone who comes to you? You've had a few folks come to you already. You've had success with that. What does it look like?
So it's a give and take 16 weeks journey. Depending on the candidate, there are certain candidates who are already doing the job. They are looking for a better position. So for them, the period will be reduced to, lesser weeks, less than 16 weeks. But I have some candidates who are, fresh. They haven't done any corporate job. Even they don't have any experience how to, operate the computer. So for them, it might go beyond 16 weeks as well. And how we start, with the purpose. What actually they want? Do they want? Uh, if they want to start a new career, why they don't want to do that? Because it's very important for me to understand that what is their purpose, why do they want to do it. It will help me to create a proper roadmap for their career. So once we do that, then we identify the career track, because there are a number of things you can do, but what will fit you, it is very important. So couple of weeks will go into that. And I will come back to the selecting the career track. I will come back to that later. There are three different criteria, so I will explain that later. And then we will overview the different skill set that somebody needs to develop. So for example, if if some candidate want to go for data science, okay, they want to become a data scientist. So I will just give them an overview. What are the different skills they need to learn? If they are completely fresh, then the learning paths will be different and the learning skills will be more, okay, than a traditional IT guy. So that will go on for a week. And once we decide that, then we will go through the training and the resources, different training and the resources that they have to go through. So I help them, share the free training resources as well as the paid one. Because for certain career tracks, you may not find good free resources. You may have to go for a paid one. So I give them the appropriate resources for that. And once I've done that, then their learning period will start. Okay, so that is a flexible period, because it will depend on the candidate how much time they are going to spend on daily basis on learning. I always suggest them, give at least an hour on daily basis and schedule your day around that learning schedule. Okay, but it may not be always possible. And then the comfort level. If somebody is looking for a technical skill learning and they are coming all together from a different background, then the learning curve will be more. So that 4 week period might become 6 week or maybe more. Okay. But one thing I do in that learning period, I don't leave them alone. Okay. I meet them every couple of weeks or sometimes every week to check on their progress. Are they still motivated to, pursue their career path? Are they motivated enough to give their 100%? And if they need any help, and if I feel that I motivate them, with my different strategies, time to time. So that is helping a lot, because sometimes I found people are getting frustrated because learning a new skill is not easy, right? But to give your 100% every single day is difficult. So you need kind of a guide or coach to push you, okay, and motivate you. Okay, you can do this. Okay, you have the capability. So I feel that that push is required sometimes. So once their training and learning period is over, then we start, working on their resumes. So they only create it. I just guide them. Okay, how you can highlight your accomplishments, and if there is a gap, then how you can convert as an asset instead of as a weakness in your career. And once we do that, then we start conducting the mock interviews. And one more thing I forgot. After the resume, if they are interested in a freelance job, because there are a number of resources, right? Upwork, Fiverr, and things like that. So if they're interested in that, then I help them to create their profile, because that profile should also be catchy. That should have a punch. Otherwise, you won't get the opportunities. And the LinkedIn profile, okay, because it is an amazing platform not only to connect with people, but find the jobs as well. And then the fun part will come I conduct the mock interviews with them. And until I am satisfied, until they have confidence, yes, I can face the interview, we keep iterating that mock interview process. And then they start with the real thing. So they
The
start
real thing.
getting, yeah, yeah. So this is around 16 weeks, but give and take more or less.
This is great. So to summarize for everyone listening, it looks like there's that why, that clarity that so many folks miss. A lot of times people think I need to get into a new position and they immediately go to monster.com, immediately go to LinkedIn, right? But there's an entire
Right.
phase that you take with them beforehand to figure out their why, then to identify the correct resources, training that some can be free, but sometimes you have to pay to get the quality content.
Right.
You've got a learning period where you motivate them. You've got the mock interviews, which I agree with you. They're the most fun.
Yeah.
So you get to learn about yourself. You get to get positive feedback, reinforcement, see the recordings. It's great. And then you also help with kind of freelance and LinkedIn,
Right.
which is kind of the same thing that's happening, I think, across all different career facets, where it's no longer just a career search of what 9 to 5 are you going to get. It's, are you a freelancer? Are you a coach? Are you looking for online business? Career is really expanding
Yes,
now.
exactly. Exactly. It's not like traditional job market. It's expanded a lot in last, I think I would say 5 to 10 years.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. Definitely. And it's good to know that you help people, even if they decide that that's the route they want to go, they can continue working with you to finish that. So one of the things that you and I had talked about before we hopped on this recording was that there are skills-based certificates in the job market, right? And I found this niche area of yours just very intriguing for those who maybe don't have experience but want to hop into IT. Can you shine a light on that for us?
Yeah. So there are a couple of things in that, when it comes to taking the certifications. So number one thing is value for the money, because they are paid certifications. Okay. I mean, there are free certification as well, but I don't know how much value they add. So number one thing is value for money. Uh, for example, if I'm going for a software testing certification, I don't find so many industry recognized certifications. People are doing it. There are certifications which are provided by reputed organizations, but in current market, the the pace market is taking from the technology standpoint, taking certification for software testing may not be a good idea. Instead of that, if you develop the skill, you show your skill instead of just showcasing your certification, it will help you more. So the number one thing is it should be value for money. They should not just teach you the concepts, okay, theoretical concepts. You should know the hands-on knowledge as well, okay. So, for example, if we take an example of data science, okay, if you just understand the concept of data science, it is not going to help you doing that job until you understand how to create models, which can give you a better decision, which can help your organization to take better decisions for the company. So hands-on knowledge is very important. So you have to check which certification training is going to give you hands-on knowledge. Number two thing is how many industry recognized certifications are available for that career track. So I give you an example of software testing, right? Another area is automation, software automation testing, where I do not find many industry recognized certifications, except one, and I don't see people doing it. Rather, people are more focusing on learning that skill hands on. And I have seen many people who are, coming from a non technical background, developing that skill, and they are excelling in it without any certification. So that is my take on that.
So really, for someone listening who is trying to figure out, should I get a certification? Should I not? Right? It seems to be very specific to the field that you're about to go into, right? Some
Right.
fields, engineering, you need a 4-year degree, and there's no way around that. Other
Right.
fields are going to need a industry specific certificate or an industry accredited certificate. And there may or may not be any way around that. But there are also other areas where even the industry certificate is not as valuable as the skill itself.
Exactly. Exactly. For example, if you want to pursue your career in cloud, okay, cloud computing,
Mm-hmm.
then there are very highly reputed certifications available from Google, from Microsoft. They will really add value to your credentials.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to go, to the technical route, if you want to go Scrum Master or Release Train Engineer route, then there are certifications available from Scaled Agile Academy or Scrum Alliance. Those are really reputed, and companies, give value to those certifications. So they are really helpful to do. So it really depends which career track you are going for, which specific role you are going for. Then you have to decide if you want to really do the certification. Don't just do because everyone is doing. That should not be a strategy.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Everyone's flocking to technology, but they're not realizing that technology is a huge umbrella. And
Right.
there's things for the creatives, and there's also things for the highly structured. When we talked, you had mentioned that there were a certain number of certificates that you gravitate towards. I know you mentioned Scrum, you mentioned Agile, you mentioned Cloud. What are some of those areas that someone without a degree, a technical degree, maybe even without a degree, that says, I want to change careers completely. I want to get into technology. What are those areas they can start to research or look at that are actually possible?
Okay. So number one is, data science. And in data science also there are different roles, data analyst and data scientist, and then AI and ML engineer. So there are 3-4 different roles you can take up if you are going for a data science career track. And I don't really see good certifications for those, but what people can do if they want to really learn this skill, there are a number of good resources. For example, DataCamp. Okay, DataCamp is an excellent resource. You can just go there, select which track you want to choose, and start learning immediately. And it's way cheap. I mean, they just charge $140 for yearly subscription. And the learning they are giving, it's very, very easy. I mean, for a very, very, for a person who is just starting, they don't know anything about technology, they don't know anything about data science, they will start from scratch, and then they will build their learning on top of that, step by step. Okay, so the data science is one. And then in non-technical side, you can take up Scrum Master certification from Scaled Agile Academy. And some organizations specifically ask for certified Scrum Master certification from Scrum Alliance. So they're a little bit different in terms of framework, but basic concept remains same. Okay, so if you have Scrum Master certification from Scaled Agile Academy, that will also help you for the job position where they're asking CSM or Certified Scrum Master certification for the job position.
Okay. Yeah. So, and this is one of the other things that I talk about a lot is many skills look very similar.
Right.
And there's different terminology. So between Agile and Scrum, they're both project management. For those of you listening, they're project management methodologies. And so there's a lot of similarities between them. You're just learning the specific terminology, the specific processes, but the outcome is really more efficient projects, right? And so,
right.
So we've got those kinds of certificates. What are some stories that you have, some wins, some of those moments that you're like, this is why I do this?
So the 2 success story I told you already. Yeah. So I will tell you one story that is not my success story, but one of my close friends' success story. And I told you that, just taking the certification may not be enough, but to develop the skill is more important, right? So he is basically a commerce graduate. Okay. He is not even from science background, but he started his career as a developer. Okay. And then he developed his skill in Java over a period of time. And he became so expert in that area that every client folk, they want to work with him. Okay. So he learned over a period of time. So I read this somewhere. If you spend half an hour every day learning a skill, in next 5 years, if you do that every day, okay, in next 5 years, you will become a national expert in that area. So the consistency is very important. So when I see him, I feel so proud and I can relate with it because I'm trying to do the same with my candidates, right? Uh, Guiding them to follow the consistency every single day. Don't worry about the degree. If you don't have any technical degree, just focus on the learning. So that is what I want to add there.
Very cool. Wow, I think these are just very, it's very motivating for people to hear something that typically you see behind the curtain, right? Like you think, oh, that's just too complicated. Cloud computing is technical, but it is possible to learn it in just a matter of a few weeks.
Right. Right.
So I think that's huge to know. I mean, essentially, and tell me if this is accurate, essentially, in a way, you're teaching, women who have been in the home for a long time, who have this big gap, right? So in a way, you're thinking, I'm teaching housewives technical content. I'm helping them to get into technical roles. Right. There's an organization called the Mom Project, which basically helps moms get back to work. And it just made me think of the work that you do, whether working with moms or with other people who have had gaps in their employment or who have, little to no experience in technology. There are avenues to get in, and it's just incredibly inspiring in a world where it seems like there are your technical roles and your non-technical roles, and you can't cross the train tracks, but you really can. There are ways to move from one industry to the other without getting a 4-year degree. That's the big debate right now is, do you have to have a 4-year degree, right? And financially, it isn't always the most financially savvy decision,
Right.
Okay. So we're getting to the end of our episode here. You've shared so many good insights and helped motivate folks who didn't know that the door was open. But imagine now that in the next few minutes, what you say will be heard around the world. What do you want to share with professionals and career seekers?
So I would say 2 things on top of my mind. When you choose your career track, okay, consider these 3 criteria. Number 1 is your interest. That is number 1 thing. Okay. Don't choose a career track because your friend is choosing or your friend is already working in. Okay. Or everybody around you is doing the same thing. Analyze carefully, try different things, take short courses. Okay. And try to gauge your interest. If it interests you, if it gives kick to you, then only choose that, because I have seen people doing that and after a couple of years they regretted it. So that is number 1 thing you have to choose very carefully. Number 2 criteria should be the career growth in that career track. Okay, depending on how ambitious you are. For example, if you choose admin assistant as a career track, okay, to start with, you don't want to go for a technical career track. After 4 or 5 years, you will feel stagnant in that career track because the growth is not that great. Okay, for a start, it's good. You will start getting money. You will feel you are doing some great job, but after 4 or 5 years, you will feel stuck at that place. So if you are really, really ambitious, then do some research or take help from coach. How about this career track? What is the career path? And choose that. And number thing, last but not least, definitely the compensation. Okay, how the compensation will grow if you grow in that career track. For example, if you start
as a junior data scientist, how much you will be your salary. And if you see yourself after 5 years doing the same thing, what will be the salary after 5 years? So I would suggest these three criteria to choose your career track. That is number one. Number two is that I always tell, and that is the most important thing, is the consistency. If you have decided to learn a new skill, please create a learning schedule for your daily schedule. And if you are spending 1 hour, a couple of hours to learn anything, decide everything around that, because that will make a lot of difference. I gave you a message or saying earlier, right? If you spend half an hour every day learning something new, then in 5 years you will become the national expert of that area. So that's the power. If you plan and execute it consistently, you can achieve anything. You can learn any skill, okay, to that matter. So these are the two things I want to say.
That is excellent. I'm glad that you're sharing that, because that consistency is key. No matter what, every goal that is worthwhile is going to take work. There is no get rich quick. If they say that it's get rich quick, it's to get you to buy the thing. And then you're going to need to put in the work to actually make it happen. Like there's effort to everything. Thank you so much for sharing that. So before we go, tell us a little bit about where we can find you, if there's services that you offer, if you have whether it's your LinkedIn or anything at all.
So you can find me on LinkedIn, and I can share my Instagram and Facebook handle as well. But LinkedIn is the best place to reach me, because I am highly active on LinkedIn. Every hour I check that. So if you send me a DM or a connection request, I will be accepting it in a quick time. So that will be the best place to reach me. I can share my email address also. And if you want to send me an email, I will be happy to respond to that. Coming to, offering the services. So I am offering the end-to-end service because my target audience is very, very focused. I am not, trying to target everyone who is looking for a job, but who are limited in their professional skill and they don't have much experience. So I start them with their purpose, finding the career track, helping them with the resume, conducting their mock interviews, applying the job. So from start till end, I will help them in each and every step. So that's kind of, services I'm providing.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much. I'll make sure and include all of those links in the description. Thank you again for being here with us. And to everyone listening, thank you. We always appreciate you hanging out with us, and we'll, continue to keep you in our thoughts as we're moving on to the next episode, and we'll see you on the next one.
It was an honor. Thanks for having me on this podcast.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
It's me again. Thank you for listening. You're now done with the very first step in becoming a part of the Uncommon Career community, and that was to listen to this podcast. So, woohoo! Congratulations, you are done. Your next step is to head over to theuncommoncareer.com or to click on the link in the description to get your career resources that are going to help you make career progress right now. So again, before you forget, head over to theuncommoncareer.com or just click the link in the description, grab your resources, and I'll see you there.